Hi, I'm Alan and this is Claire. We're your cardiac rehab exercise instructors from Addenbrooke's Hospital, and we're here to guide you through your home exercise routine today. We're just going to guide you through a couple of the bits of equipment that we might be using today. And just of note, if you do see equipment that you don't have at home, please don't be worried. There will always be a non-equipment option available to you. Some of the things we might be using during the exercise circuit, we've got some resistance bands that you can purchase from the cardiac rehab team. We have 3 different grades to those bands, starting from the pink up through the purple, and the green band slightly thicker there as well. You'll see those used throughout the session. An alternative to some of the exercises, some of the light weights we use, either 1 kilogram or ½ kilogram is appropriate. You can also just use some baked bean tins or something at home if you like. So there's some of the bits we're going to be using, along with the trampet and steps, as we work our way through the session today. But just in terms of your general health, remember there's a few things you need to be aware of.
So enjoy your exercise circuit, but bear in mind, please let us know if you have suffered any recent cardiac symptoms or any angina symptoms. Keep your GTN spray at hand. Hopefully you should know the procedure of how to use this, but please contact us if you're unsure. Other safety points: please wear appropriate footwear and clothing, footwear that's got a good grip and preferably covering your whole foot, so no dumbbells are going to damage any joints or toes.
Okay, so I think we're about ready to get started with the exercise. If you're unsure what exercise level to undertake today, please consult us at the cardiac rehab team and we'll be able to advise a little better. Okay, good luck and all the best. Have fun. Okay, this is the seated exercise class. We're going to start off with a gentle warm-up in a few moments' time, and then we'll progress on through to some slightly more intense exercises before finishing things off with a little cool down towards the end. So first things we need to look at are seating position. So from your seat, just shuffle your bottom forward to the front third of the seat is optimal, with a nice tall posture, hands relaxed on the thighs, and we're ready to go. So the first exercise for today, some nice simple heel taps. So just gently raising those heels behind, a nice slow pace. We'll do around 30 seconds of these heel taps, keeping the posture tall. And we'll change things over. Fix the heels down now and tap the toes at the front. If you feel more comfortable resting your arms by your sides, then please feel free to do so. Again, it's 30 seconds for this exercise. And if I'm going a little fast for you, you can always slow your movements down a little. Okay, that's good. We're going to change things up a little now, just to loosen off these ankle joints. We're going to take a little heel step down in front, and we're going to point the toe down as close to the same spot as we can. So heel to toe. If you can find a marker on the floor, try and place that toe and that heel on the same little marker. Keep your posture nice and tall. Five or six on each side. Let's change it over to the other side now. Heel to toe on the other leg. Excellent. Now we'll come into a little march with the legs. It's a slow march to start with. Again, hands resting by the sides or on your thighs, whatever's comfortable for you. Let's just gently bring the arms in as well now. You might might just be feeling yourself starting to get a little warmer now. The heart rates will be gradually increasing as we work our way through. The most important thing is that it should feel nice and comfortable. Okay, just relax the arms by the sides now. Bring the arch down to just some gentle heel taps behind. And we're going to loosen off the shoulder joints. So with the arms relaxed, gently bring your shoulders forwards. Lift them up, little circles, roll them back and drop them down. In your own time, roll those shoulders back. Little movements in your heels as you go. Keep your breathing nice and comfortable. Again, a good 5 or 6 shoulder rolls we look for, just to loosen out those shoulder joints, ready for the exercise session later on. Okay, relax the arms by the side. Let's take some little toe taps out in front now. Let's focus on the lower part of the body for a little longer. Still we're tall with the posture. Whilst we're doing the seated exercise, we keep the muscles nice and tight around the tummy, and that helps with our core strength. The further you reach away from your body with this exercise, the harder it will be, so keep it fairly close. And that's fine. Let's change it over. Heel digs in front this time. So we've got a little faster with our moves now, so we're starting to feel ourselves getting a little warmer. Should still be feeling nice and comfortable. And let's bring it back to a little march again. If at this stage you're finding things a little bit difficult, just tap your heels. Keep your breathing nice and steady. If at any stage you need a little bit of a breather, shuffle back in your chair and relax your tummy muscles. Do keep a little bit of movement in your lower body, little heel taps. When you're ready again, you can shuffle forwards. Take breathers whenever you need. We're back into our march. This time we combine the arms and the legs together with a little more speed. Starting to feel ourselves warm up a little bit now. Okay, let's ease the arms down and let's slow the legs. For the next exercise, we're just going to feel a little bit of a stretch out down the side. So from a nice comfortable position on that front third of the seat still, we're tapping the heels. We're going to place our right hand on the side of the chair for a bit of support. Reach the left hand down towards the floor. So keeping your bottom cheeks fixed to the chair, just a little reach down, hold for a moment, bring it back to the center, little tap of your heels, change it to the other side, little reach down again, hold to the middle, little tap, and other side again, reach it down. That's good. Okay, we're going to come back into a little march again now. And we'll take the arms in. We're starting to get the heart rates up a little bit more now. The more we drive those elbows, the more we drive the arms, the higher the heart rates will come, the higher the effort rating. Are the postures still tall? Just have a little check of your posture. Make sure it's still good. If you need a breather, take one when you need. Ease the arms off again. Ease the legs down. Let's loosen off the spine and the core a little bit now. From a comfortable position again on the front edge of the seat, we're going to place our right hand onto the outside of the left thigh. Keep a tall posture, left hand to the back of the chair. From that central position, lift tall and twist out. Hold for a second, back to the middle, change it over, other side. This time take your right to the back of the chair, left hand across the thigh, tall and twist. Hold for a second, to the middle, swap it over again. Little taps of your heels as we go. Make sure you're tall before you twist. Excellent. Nice little exercise, this one, just for loosening up the spine, getting us ready for some of the exercises ahead. Last one. Okay, good. Let's come back into a little march of those legs again. We've started to build the heart rates up, so we don't want them to drop too low now. So let's get the arms back in. Let's increase the speed a little more. Let's do another 10 seconds of this exercise. Let's keep that pace up. And we'll ease it off. Ease the arms down first. Slow the pace of the legs. Check your posture. Are we still on the front third of the seat? Are we still nice and tall? Tap the heels behind and a shoulder stretch next. So we're going to take the right hand, place it on the left shoulder. Left hand under the right arm. Not on the joint, just below. From this position, sitting nice and tall, reach back with your right hand beyond the shoulder. Keep the breathing nice and steady. The heels tap. Hold for 8 seconds. And relaxing. Other side. Left hand to the right shoulder, right underneath. Reach back. And relaxing again. Excellent. Let's come back to our march. Let's make sure we're keeping warm. Let's put the arms in when you're ready. Easing your arms back again. Next stretch. Take the right leg down in front. Relax the right leg. Pop your hands on the left thigh. Keeping nice and tall, we're going to stretch the hamstrings for this stretch. So the hamstring stretch or back of thigh region. So we're going to relax the toe at the front. Relax this muscle group here. Keeping tall, concentrate on bending from your hips. Lean gently forwards. Keep the breathing steady, nice and regular. Feel a stretch up here in the hamstring region. Hold for 8 again. And relaxing. Little march of the legs. Across to the other side. From your comfortable base. Tall posture. This time the left leg down. Just relax the foot. Relax the muscles. Hands on the opposite thigh. Keep tall. Tilt from the hips. Forward we go. Hold. Breathing nice and steady. And relaxing again. Little march out. The chest stretch. So we're going to keep on the front third of the seat. We're going to keep the heels tapping for the moment, and we're going to reach back to the back of the chair. Keeping the posture nice and tall, we're going to tilt the shoulder blades tight together behind and just feel a little stretch across that chest here. Keep the breathing nice and comfortable. Hold for 10 seconds. You can tap the heels out gently as you go if you wish. And gently roll the shoulders out of that stretch. Okay, for the next exercise, we're going to ease the leg movements down and just tap the heels gently whilst we do a little punting exercise. So let's just cup the hands together and let's push the arms down by the sides. Slow movements, small to start. Posture still nice and tall. Remember, anything we do with our arms generally puts the effort rating up a little bit, so this will get us a little bit warmer. Reach the movements out a little further in front. Let's keep ourselves comfortable. Should be getting nice and warm. Okay, drop those arms down in your own time. And we're going on to another stretch now, back to the legs, and it's a calf stretch this time. Lower part of the leg, similar position, right leg in front. This time we pull the toe up, so let's lift that toe up to the ceiling, or as far back as we can towards the shin. We pop the hands on the other thigh for a bit of support if you need, if not just resting on the chair. Nice tall posture, and almost immediately we should feel a stretch down in the calf here. If you can't feel a very good stretch, a little tilt at your hips, not a lot, just a little tilt until you feel a good stretch low in the leg. Keep that toe nice and high. Pull that toe back towards the shin. And relaxing. A little tap of the heels or march of the legs. And other side. Left leg down. Pull the toe up. Nice tall posture. Little tilt if we need it. The stretch we're feeling down in the calf. And relaxing there. Little march out again. Let's take the arms in. You don't want those heart rates to drop too much now. Whenever you're doing any seated exercise, we must make sure we keep the legs moving. And once we've got those heart rates up, we want to keep the heart rates up. So a little break for a stretch here and there, and then we get back going with the arms and legs. Let's change it up and take some little toe taps out in front. Let's put some arms in as well. You dictate the speed. If it's a little tough, slow it down. Comfortable speed for yourself. Should be feeling nice and warm by now. And we'll take it back to a march. Still tall on the front third of the seat. Okay, those legs have done a lot for us so far. Let's focus a little more on the upper body. So let's ease the leg movements down. A little tap of your heels every so often with this next exercise. Keeping tall with your posture. A little slap and clap. So we're going to tap the thighs and a little clap in the middle. So nice and slow and controlled to start with. Little taps of the heels as we go. And as you feel confident to do so, you may like to go a little faster or reach your hands out a little further. Try not to slap those thighs too hard, just a gentle tap is good enough. Excellent. Let's relax the arms again and let's have a little march out of the legs. Okay, I think that's enough just to get us warm, folks. We're going to head on to the main circuit now. So we're going to change the exercises over a little bit now. Follow me through. Okay, onto the seated exercise circuit now then. We're still going to adopt the similar posture on the chair, so nice and tall on the front third of the seat. We're going to need a couple of bits of equipment for this exercise circuit. So we're going to need our trusty resistance band here, if you haven't got one already. Remember, you can get those from the cardiac rehabilitation team. And for the sake of today's exercise, we may well use some of these light weights as well. If you haven't got a set of weights at home, a tin of baked beans or something like that would be just appropriate. About ½ kilo weight would be fine. And of course, get yourself a nice glass of water or a bottle of water to keep nicely hydrated as we go through. Okay, so the first exercise, you've already started with this one in your warm-up. It's a little march out and a little swing of the arms. So drive the arms. We're nice and warm now. We've done our warm-up, so we can start at a little bit of pace and we can keep a bit of speed in the movements. Constantly keep that posture nice and tall, and we're constantly thinking about how we're feeling. If we start to find things a little too challenging, we ease the pace down. Okay, let's ease the arms off a little bit there. Ease the pace of the march down. Next exercise is the slap and clap. So ease the legs down, tap your heels. Tap the hands on the thighs, clap in the centre. Nice tall posture. Make this a little bit more dynamic. Let's take the arms out to the side, to the middle, and opposite side. Maybe a little bit confusing if this is your first time through, but you'll get used to it. Should be feeling nice and warm at home, folks. Should be working to what you feel is a light to moderate intensity. Again, feel free to take a breather whenever you need. Okay, I'm going to ease my arms down there and just tap my heels for a few moments. And a little march. Okay, last few seconds of the marching, and then we're going to move on to a little bit of strength exercise for the upper body. So let's ease the march down, a little tap of your heels, and for this next exercise we're going to need the resistance band. Now, as you will probably well know, there are 3 different grades to the resistance band. This is the lighter of the 3, the pink band. You also have a purple and green band that you can acquire from the cardiac rehab team. For the first exercise then, we keep a little movement in the heels going as we're changing through. We're going to place the ends of the band down, or the end of the band down towards the floor, and we're going to place both of our feet firmly on the band. We're still with a nice tall posture on the front third of the seat, excess of the band up by the side here. Grasp the band from the top and let the excess lie down the side. 90-degree bend at your elbow and just gently walk the thumb down towards the knee. Clench the band, keep the posture nice and tall, thumb on top. Gently and slowly bring the thumb up towards your shoulder, keeping your elbow low. Hold for 2, slowly relax. In your own time, we want 8 to 10 repetitions. Posture tall, tummy muscles in. Slide up, hold for 2. Slowly down. If that's a little bit easy for you, drop your hand a little bit lower. Notice the difference in the work rate of the biceps here. Slow and controlled with our moves. That's good. A couple more on this side then. If you find the exercise a little too difficult, you can always take your hand the other way on the band. Bring it a little higher. One more. Excellent. Okay, relax that arm there. Have a little tap out of the legs. Remember, it's very important that we keep those legs moving throughout the exercise circuit. So little taps here and there always help. We're going to change over to the other side. Put the band on the floor, feet firmly on the band, excess up the side again, nice tall posture. Again, we take the band from the top, we pop the excess out to the side, keeping nice and tall on the chair. We walk the thumb to around about the knee, roughly a 90-degree bend, thumb on top, slowly up. Hold for 2. Ease it down. A little more tension if you need. Feel the work in the biceps here. Posture's nice and tall. Holding for 2. Hopefully, folks, you can feel it in the area that we're indicating. You should certainly feel this exercise in the bicep region. Last couple of reps then. And the last one. Excellent. Relax that down, come back into your little march again. And pop that band down by the side. Okay, so the next exercise is going to be a sit to stand exercise, basically bringing ourselves up from the chair. Now this can be done in several ways. If you find yourself being quite fragile and unable to normally bring yourself up from a seated position, then start by walking to the front third of the seat, a nice comfortable base with your toes directly below your knees. Sit nice and tall, and we do this exercise in 3 phases. So the first phase, I want you to concentrate on pushing your weight down through your heels. So the first little rock, push your weight into your heels. Then the second phase would be lifting your bottom a little from the chair. The third phase, all the way up. So we put them all together. Little push of your heels, little lift of your bottom, and all the way up on the third. We then walk ourselves back to the chair so that we can feel the back of our legs on the seat. We slowly bring ourselves back to the seated position. We can then walk forwards, back to the front third of the seat, nice tall posture. Again, first phase, push your heels down. Second phase, bring your bottom up. Third, all the way up. Nice and controlled with your moves. Walk it back and sit yourself down. Excellent. Carry on through with this exercise then, folks. Let's see if we can do 8 to 10 repetitions. If you're comfortable sit to standing without the additional phases, then come straight from the front third of the seat, straight up and slowly down. If your joints allow and you feel strong enough to do this exercise, that is absolutely fine. What I would advise is maybe you do 4 to 5 reps. Then you take a little breather with the tap out. A few seconds will do, and then we go again. Excellent. Let's stay seated now. Another couple of sit to stands. Last couple. Okay, after this one we stay on our feet. A little march out of the legs, or a little tap of your heels. And we're going to make our way round to the back of our chairs now. Keeping a hold of the back of the chair for a little bit of support, we're just going to bring the heels up towards our bottoms behind. So just a little hamstring curl. Use that chair for the support. If this exercise is uncomfortable for you, you're struggling with your balance, go back to the seat, have a little sit down for a few moments. Just tap your heels. Bringing that heel up towards the bottom of the back. let's just have a little march of the legs behind the chair. And for the next exercise, we're going to do some heel raises. So keeping your hands on the chair for a little bit of support. We're going to fix the toes to the ground and gently bring the heels up and slowly down. Nice and controlled with your movements. Keep your hands on the chair for that support. Keep your breathing nice and steady. Your posture's nice and tall. Excellent. You're doing really well, folks. Looking good. Right up onto those toes. Slowly down. Feel those calf muscles at the back getting a nice workout here. And let's have a march of the legs again. The next exercise, just a couple of little taps out to the sides if we can. Let's come back to a march again. With one hand on the chair this time, we're going to bring the knees up towards the hip height. So gently bringing those knees up towards the hip height and slowly down. Use that chair for a little bit of support. Now if you're finding this all too much being on your feet too long, we can always go back to the seat. If you're happy standing, carry on how you are. If you'd like to use the seat, you're back on that front third, nice tall posture, and all we're doing is lifting the leg and reach out. Bring it back, drop it down. Nice tall posture, other side. Up and down. Point the toe, back and down. Excellent. Let's aim for 5 reps on each side here. We'll feel this a little bit in the abdominal muscles as well, and of course across the thighs. Last couple. Excellent. Back to the march again. Just taking a little breather now, folks, so we can ease the pace down if we like. We can tap the heels. You have a rest whenever you need. So you can sit back in your chair and relax with the little heel taps if you wish. Just get a little breather. Just for 30 seconds or so. If you want to take a little longer for your breather, of course you can. You can always pause this DVD and keep your heels tapping. Okay, I think we'll move on with the next exercise then. Let's shift those bottoms forwards to the front third. Let's get nice and tall. Let's get that posture set before we go. Remember, we're working these postural muscles as we go here. For the next exercise, we're going to do some little crunches around the abdominal region. So keeping nice and tall, little tap of the heels every so often. Keep that circulation working. Hands on the thighs, just a little tilt back. Contract these muscles across the abdomen here. Hold for a second or two. Slide forwards. A little tap of the heels. And again, back we go. Feel the contraction in the tummy muscles. Come forwards. And a little tap. In your own time, 8 to 10 reps. You shouldn't be leaning all the way back so that you touch the back of the chair. But you should be going back far enough to feel the activation of the tummy muscles. Last couple. Last one. Excellent. Little march out again. So for the next exercise, we're going to concentrate on the upper body again, a little bit more strength exercise, so we'll ease those legs down, and we're going to need that band again. So grab a hold of your band, be careful as you go down, place the band across your thighs, still on the front third of the seat with the tall posture. Hands underneath the band, little tap of your heels of course as we go. Around about a 2 to 3 inch gap between your hands is normally good for most people to start with. The luxury of this exercise is if we find it a little bit too difficult, we can make that gap a little bigger, it will make the exercise easier. If we want to make it harder, we close the gap. Start with the 2 or 3 inch tall posture. From that position, clench your band, slide the band out, pull it apart, feel the tension. Slide it back to your navel, hold for a couple of seconds, forwards and relax. A little tap of your heels in between. Feel the tension in the arms there. Arms and the upper back. In your own time. Take it out. 8 reps please. Hold it back. 2 seconds. Forwards and relax. Should feel a good amount of tension in those muscles as you're doing this exercise. And remember, if it is too easy for you, bring those hands a little closer together. You'll feel a little extra effort as you pull that band apart. Okay, last repetition. Take it out. Slide it back and hold. Forwards and relax. Excellent. Just pop the band down there and just have a loose swing of the arms. Okay, for the next exercise then, we're going to go into the punting move. So cup the hands together, little taps of the heels as we go. An exercise that we often use in the warm-up. But for this part of the circuit, we can go a little bit faster and we can reach those movements out a little further. So we can really find ourselves pushing those arms down by the sides now. Try not to twist the torso too much. We don't want to be twisting out to the sides too much. Just making those movements a little bigger. Just swap the hands over. You're fine with the grip in a slightly different position, the action feels a little different. If you're finding this a little tough, slow these movements down, bring them nice and small and close to the body. Still feeling good and strong, you can make the movements bigger, make them faster. Work to what you feel is your light to moderate intensity. Last 30 seconds for this exercise. Probably starting to feel it in those arms a little bit now, so let's ease the arms down. Slow them off, small movements. And relax the arms. A little swing by the sides again. Rest the arms on the thighs. A little march. This is looking good, folks. We should still be feeling nice and warm. We'll be feeling these upper arm muscles now, having had a good workout. And we're going to come down to the legs again this time. So we're going to give this outer thigh a little bit of strengthen now. So again, we go back to our bands. We're going to wrap the band around the legs. We're going to bring the feet and the knees tight together. And bringing that band around our legs. Don't wrap it too tightly for your first time through. The tighter you wrap this band, the harder the exercise will be. Once you've got the band wrapped around, grab a hold of it all in the central position, tall on the front third of the seat, keep the knees and toes together to start with. That's your starting position. Now we keep these knees clamped and we walk the toes and the heels out. Around about shoulder width is what we're looking for to start with. Keeping the knees together to start, tall posture, and guide the knees out. Hold, 2, 3, slowly in. Nice and controlled. Keep the feet out, 8 to 10 reps again in your own time. So take it out. Hold for your 2-second count, slide it in. Breathing should be nice and steady. How's your posture? Just check that posture every so often. Make sure we're still nice and tall. This exercise is working these outer thigh muscles quite nicely. And we'll do 2 more reps there. Last one. Excellent. Relaxing there, take the band off, little tap of your legs. Pop the band down by the side. If we haven't already, let's take an opportunity to have ourselves a little drink. If you wish to have a little rest, sit back in your chairs, have a little breather at any stage. We're going to move on to the next exercise now. If you do want to rest in between, take that rest at any stage, remember. On the front third of the seat, we're going to move into a little crunch of the core again. So we're going to pop our hands up towards our ears. And we're going to gently bring one knee up and the opposite arm down. A little cross crunch. Just twist the body as you bring that arm, that elbow down towards the knee. Slow and controlled. You don't have to bring the knee right the way up to the elbow. Just the action is enough to activate the core muscles. If you can get it a little closer, excellent. Good little exercise for those core muscles, this one, folks. Just a couple more then. Okay, back to the march again. Excellent work, really good. That's a good exercise, that one. That will get those tummy muscles working a little for us. Next one, just a march out. So march out the legs, a little swing of the arms as well if you wish to. Now you dictate the speed, keep this nice and steady. And at this stage, we're just going to take the arms out, just tap the legs. Are we still nice and tall on that seat? Okay, the next exercise is going to work the arms again, and it's this tricep region at the back here. Earlier on in the session, we worked the biceps at the front of the arm, so to balance the arm muscles up, we now want to work the back of the arm as well. So let's get back to the band. Let's sit on the front third of the seat again, nice and tall. The same starting position as previous with the bicep exercise. So the feet firmly secure on the band up by the side, and this time instead of taking the band from the top, we're going to slide the hand underneath the band. We're going to drop the excess out to the side, and we're going to walk the thumb down towards the knee. Now, just a little word of reminder, earlier on in the session we would have talked about a seat without any arm supports. We need to make sure for this exercise that we don't have any arm supports on this chair. We are going to need to guide the arms back down the side. So a tall posture, thumb on top this time, take the elbow back, and then gently kick that arm straight. As you kick the arm straight, feel the contraction of the triceps and hold. And slide it in. Little tap of your heels as we go. Make sure the band's fixed. Next rep. Take the arm back, straighten out. Hold for 2. Slide it in. Excellent. That's 2 down, 6 to go. In your own time. It's the straightening action that will activate those tricep muscles, and you'll feel down the back of the arm. Remember the odd little taps of the heels in between, very helpful for us at this stage to help maintain blood supply coming up towards the heart. But do make sure you keep the feet fixed on the band whenever you're doing the contraction, whenever you're doing the exercise. Again, if you wanted to make the exercise a little more difficult, drop the hand a little lower. If you want to make it easier, bring the hand a little higher. Go at what works you to a moderate level of fatigue. We've got a couple more reps to do on this side. And the last one. Excellent. Okay, let's march out the legs as we change it over to the other side. Again, the band on the floor. Feet on the band, nice and firmly, nice and secure. The band across the thigh. We take the band from underneath. The thumb will point forwards. Bring the hand down to around about the knee, and with the opposite hand on the other thigh, we guide the elbow back and kick the arm straight. Feel the triceps work, a couple of second hold, slide it back in. Little tap of your heels as we go. It's the activation of the triceps as we kick that arm straight that we're really looking for. A little point to remember at home, you don't want to twist your body too much. Try to keep your shoulders pointing forwards. So as you take that arm back, try to keep these shoulders level at the front. There will be a tendency for you to want to spin around, but try and keep facing forwards as best you can. You're feeling a little bit of fatigue in those muscles now, folks. Two more. Okay, last one. And we relax then. Let's come back into a little march again. And let's just have a loose swing of the arms by the sides. That's an excellent workout, folks. We're now going to head on into our little cool down. Okay. Okay folks, we've finished our seated exercise circuit there, so we're going to move on to some nice easy cool down exercises now. So to start with, just a little march. We're replicating a similar intensity to that of the exercises that we've just done to begin with, and we'll gradually ease the tempo down over the course of the next 5 to 10 minutes. So the first thing we'll do is ease the speed. Make the arm movements a little smaller and slow the marching speed down. And let's ease the arm movements off. So relax the arms by the sides or on your thighs. Slow march. And let's ease the leg movements down to a little heel tap and cup the hands together for the punt. A little different to the main exercise. This one just really slow and small with the movements. Keep it slow, keep it steady. And relax the arms. Just a little march of the legs. And little toe taps out in front. Speed nice and slow now, nice and easy. Bring these toe taps nice and close to the body, very small, just out in front there now. And come back to a nice slow march again. Okay, fixing the toes again with the little heel taps. We'll just work the arms gently by the sides. You don't need to march the legs at the same time now, it's just slow movements with the arms. Okay, rest the arms by the sides. Little heel tap in front this time. These movements are slow. They may start a little further away from the body. And then with each tap of the heels, try to come a little closer. Try to make these movements a little smaller. Nice and slow. Let's come back to a little march again. Slow speed. By this stage of the cool down, the breathing should be settling down. We should be feeling much more comfortable. Heart rates will be gradually slowing down. We don't want to stop moving those legs just yet. Keep them going a little while longer. We are nearly there. Let's ease the march right down. Tap the heels together behind now. Fix the toes to the floor. This movement can be nice and slow, nice and steady. Let's change it over. Toe taps this time, with the heels fixed. And march the heels behind. Okay, an exercise that we will have completed earlier during the warm-up phase, the side bends. So a nice tall posture. Place the right hand on the chair, the left hand down by the side. Keeping nice and tall with the posture, we can ease the heels off there, and we're going to reach down to the left side. Keep the bottom cheeks fixed to the chair. Feel this little stretch up this side here. Hold for a second, come back to the center, other side, reach down, hold momentarily, back to the middle again. We're going to do a few on each side. Try not to bend down like this. Try to just reach to the floor, keeping the bottom cheeks fixed. One more on each side. Back to the center again, and a little heel march. Rest the hands on the thighs. Okay, so we've eased the body down nicely. We're going to finish off with a few little stretches now. In between the stretches, we want to maintain the movements in the lower part, so little taps of the heels as we go will be perfect. The first stretch today then is the chest stretch. So we're going to keep on the front third of the seat. We're going to keep the heels tapping for the moment, and we're going to reach back to the back of the chair. Keeping the posture nice and tall, we're going to tilt the shoulder blades tight together behind and just feel a little stretch across that chest here. Keep the breathing nice and comfortable. Hold for 10 seconds. Tap the heels out gently as you go if you wish. And gently roll the shoulders out of that stretch. A little tap of the heels again. For the next stretch, we're going to come down to the legs. As in the warm-up, we're going to stretch this calf region here. So we're going to take the right leg down in front to begin with. We're going to pull that right toe up towards the ceiling, or up to as far back to the shin as we can. We'll keep the posture nice and tall. The hands can rest on the opposite thigh or on the chair with a tall posture, maybe just a little tilt to feel the stretch in the calf muscle here. The most important fact is that we get that toe up here. So keep tall with the posture and pull the toe up. Excellent. And gently relaxing there. A little tap of your heels. Change it over to the other side. So this time your left leg down. Pull the toe up. Posture nice and tall. Feel the stretch low down in the calf muscle. Hold there. Keep the breathing steady. And gently relaxing again. Little tap of the heels. And we'll move on to the shoulder stretch next. So we're going to take the right hand to the left shoulder, left hand under the right arm for a little support. Reach back with the right arm beyond the shoulder. Keep the breathing steady again. The posture should still be nice and tall. We feel the stretch across the outside of the right shoulder. Holding again for the count of 10. And relaxing there. Let's change it across to the other side. Left hand across to the right shoulder. Right hand under the left arm for support. And gently guide it back. Feel the stretch in the outside of the shoulder and hold for 10. And relaxing there. Okay, back just to those little heel taps. And we move back down to the legs for the hamstring stretch this time. So we're back on that right leg, it's out in front, we relax the toe. We relax the muscles in the top of the thigh here, we keep the hands on the opposite thigh for support, we keep nice and tall, we tilt from the hips and we lean gently forwards into the stretch. We feel the activation of the stretch up in the hamstring region. And we hold there. We don't bounce these stretches, we feel a good stretch and we hold. We keep the breathing nice and steady. And relaxing. Little tap of our heels again. and swap it out to the other side. So left leg down, relax the toe, hands on the right, tall posture. Pivot from the hips, lean in. Now if you're not on the front third of the seat, or if you don't lift tall before you lean into the stretch, you won't feel as good a stretch as you should do on the hamstring. So make sure you think about those two things when you're doing this stretch at home. And again, the most important factor here is that we keep that breathing nice and regular, nice and steady. Never hold your breath during any stretches. And relaxing there, little tap of the heels again. Okay, excellent. We're coming towards the end of the circuit, or towards the end of the cool down now. We have got one more stretch to do. If you're able to stand for the next stretch, then please follow me through. We're going to pop ourselves up to our feet gently now. And we're just going to make our way over to an obstacle that we can use for a little bit of support. So I've got a nice high stool here. And we're going to stretch out the thigh muscles here. So with the hand on the chair or a rail for a bit of support, we're just going to take that outside leg up by the shoe, the trouser or your sock. Keep your hand on for the support and bring those postures up nice and tall and your thighs level at the front. Keep your hand on whatever you have for support there. But keep tall with your posture. Keep your tummy muscles in nice and tight. And gently and slowly relaxing out of that move. Have a little tap of your legs and finish up on the other side. So again, pop your hand on for a little bit of support. Take that leg up by the shoe if you can. If not, maybe grab a hold of your sock or your trouser if you're wearing some. Knees together. Nice tall posture. We want those thighs pretty much parallel down the front. Your breathing should be nice and steady again. Again, it's a count of 10 for these stretches. And slowly relaxing there. Okay, excellent folks, that's your seated exercise circuit complete for today. Well done, and see you again soon.
So we're going to start with some gentle heel to toe action. So starting on our left foot, heel to toe, try and point that toe in the same place as the heel 6 to 8 times. Into a little march to break up the movements. Arm to the other foot, so that heel to toe action. Again, 6 to 8 times. Excellent. Back into a march. Just to increase that blood flow to the muscles now, we're going to do some nice gentle moves, increasing that range of motion a little bit. So let's just gently step the foot to the side, nice, slow and controlled, quite close to the body to start with. And each of these exercises will last for about 30 seconds. We're now going to gently change the position of the feet into a gentle toe tap forwards. Everybody feeling okay? We're going to go back into some nice gentle march on the spot. And our next exercise will be a nice slow controlled heel dig forwards. So gently tapping that heel out. Again for about 30 seconds. The aim is to gradually increase the intensity of the movements throughout the 15-minute warm-up. We're now going to change our position to tapping those feet behind. Again, not too wide, just nice close to the body to start with. We're going to go back into a march on the spot, which is going to loosen the upper body joints up a little bit to prepare us for the next stage of the warm-up. So what we're going to do is gradually roll the shoulders back. The aim is to increase the rotations as we go. We're maintaining that foot movement throughout just to make sure that heart rate don't drop at any stage. Keep those feet tapping. We're going to repeat the process for rotating the shoulders forwards. Excellent. Relax those shoulders. Let's go into a march on the spot. Start just to feel our breathing increasing a little bit, and you can use your arms just to make that march a little bit more intensive. Okay. We're going to loosen off the hips a little bit now and do some high knees. So hands out for support. We're going to gently just tap the knee to the hand, gradually increasing the position as we go. Again, we'll do this exercise for about 30 seconds. And relax, back into a march. So to ensure our heart rates increase a little bit more, we're going to go up a little bit more of the gear now. Make sure you've got plenty of room between you and the person next to you. So we're going to gently tap those feet out to the side again. This time bring in one arm, starting just above hip height, gradually increasing that arm as we move along the exercise. As our breathing rate starts to increase a little bit more now, we should be aiming towards that light intensity at the end of our 15-minute warm-up. So relax the arms. We're going to gently go to a heel dig forwards this time. Bringing in an alternate bicep curl. So keeping that posture nice and straight throughout, keeping our breathing regulated. Let's go back into a march on the spot. We're now going to tap those feet forwards and bring in a nice soft shadow punch, so ensuring that we're not locking out the elbow joints. Next exercise, we're going to gently change our position to tapping those feet behind, bring in one arm up gently to shoulder height. Okay, back into a march. So we're going to try some upper and lower body stretches now. For the shoulder stretch, pop your hand on the opposite shoulder, pressing on the muscle and not the joint. Keeping that posture nice and tight, holding for about 8 to 10 seconds. Can everybody feel that stretch on their shoulder? Gently shake the arms and move over to the opposite side. And relax. There's toe tap forwards. Again, we don't want our heart rates dropping throughout, so it's essential to keep those legs pumping. As we go back into a little march, we're now going to try an upper back stretch. So arms out in front, leaving a little bend in the elbow joint. To feel the stretch more, gently tilt that head down towards the floor if you're nice, controlled and balanced. Holding again for 8 to 10 seconds. Relax. Heel digging forwards with the legs, again just to ensure our heart rates aren't dropping. Back into a march. We're going to try a triceps stretch next. So hand safely on the upper back, with the other hand pressing on the muscle and not the joint. Be careful not to force your arm back, just where it feels comfortable for yourself. Relax the arms, keep those feet tapping. We're going to move over to the other side. Okay, let's break these stretches up a little bit. So we're going to try some hamstring curls. So ensuring there's no obstacles behind, we're just going to gently flick those feet behind. Excellent. Back into a march just to control your posture. We're going to try a calf stretch. So we're going to dig that heel into the floor, bending that front leg forward, keeping your feet facing forwards with a nice straight posture. Any weight going on that bent leg. Can everybody feel that in their calf muscle? Back into a little march. And we're going to repeat the process for stretching the other side. So transferring that weight onto the bent leg. Into a march, so again we can just use our arms to drive our march forwards. The next stretch we're going to do is a hamstring stretch. So feet shoulder width apart, nice straight posture, bending both knees together to start. Keep one knee bent and bring the front leg forwards. As your bottom pushes out, shoulders will dip down and you should then feel the stretch on the back of your leg. Into a march. And now we're going to repeat that process onto the other side. So front leg forward, transferring that weight onto the bent leg. So go back into a march. Well, now what we're going to do is what we call a re-warm, just again to make sure heart rate hasn't gone down too much during the stretches. So taking that foot out to the side. This time we're going to bring two arms up to shoulder height. Relax the arms, let's go back into a march on the spot. And we're going to tap the feet forwards. Bringing two arms up to shoulder height. At this point, your breathing and heart rate should have increased nicely, so we should be building up to that light intensity now. And back to a march on the spot. Everybody feeling okay? So, heel digging forwards, this time bringing two arms into the bicep curl, keeping those elbows nice close to the centre of the body. Slow controlled movements. Into a march, we've got one exercise left until we start our circuit. So we're going to tap the feet behind, again bringing two arms up to roughly shoulder height. Okay, we're going to do a thigh stretch next, so you can use a chair for support because we're going to gently bend one leg in towards the straight leg. Try not to hold your hand on your ankle joint, just where your shoelace is on the shoe. Holding again for 8 to 10 seconds. into a gentle march. Stabilise yourself and turn yourself around if you are holding on for support. Same action of gently bending in the leg towards the straight leg. And relax. Let's go back into our march on the spot. Yeah. So let's tap those feet out to the side, bringing 2 arms up to shoulder height. Back to marching on the spot. So last exercise before we start our circuit. So tapping the feet behind, bringing 2 arms up to shoulder height. And back to a march on the spot. So we're now going to move on to our exercise circuit. Okay, so our first exercise is marching on the spot. So keeping those knees nice and low to begin with our arms by our side. Again, maintaining nice straight posture throughout, keeping our breathing regulated. Is that intensity okay for all of us? To progress this exercise, we could start to lift our knees a little bit higher and bring in some arms. If this gets too demanding, we can revert back to how we was, of keeping our arms by our side, lowering those knees into a slow march. So throughout the cardiovascular component of the exercise circuit, we're now aiming for you to work up to a somewhat hard intensity. If you feel that you go over a hard intensity, please slow down. So let's start just to bring those knees up a little bit more and bring our arms back in. The knees down, we're going to shortly move on to our next exercise. So our next exercise is bicep curl. Keep those feet moving throughout just to maintain our heart rate. Posture wise, nice straight back, shoulders back, nice tight elbows into the side with a nice slow control movement with the arms, keeping a nice 90-degree angle. Keeping that breathing nice and regulated. If you feel the exercise is too difficult, lower your weight or just have no weight at all and do the arm movement with the bicep curl. How's that weight, Ross?
Good, thank you.
We're now going to put the weights back. So our next cardiovascular exercise is sit to stand. You can use a chair with no arms, or if you feel that you do need support, you can just use a chair with arm for support. So the idea is feet shoulder width apart, nice straight back, and we're going to gently sit onto the chair, nice straight back, using those leg muscles to pull ourselves up. Okay. Again, we can progress this exercise by taking away the chair and doing a freestanding squat. How's that intensity feeling? Okay. essential to have water breaks throughout your exercise circuit, but please maintain that foot movement as demonstrated in this DVD. At this point, to have a little rest halfway through, have a seat, but keep those feet tapping. After a short rest period, we can then resume some more sit to stand exercises. Okay, Russ?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, well done. We're coming to the end of this exercise. We're now going to move on to rest toe taps. We can do this seated, or we can stand and gently tap the feet forwards. These exercises just allow our heart rate to recover that little bit and to give our legs a little rest. You could always again adapt this exercise by doing a heel dig forwards if you prefer. Okay. We'll go back to toe tap. Okay, a little march on the spot. Our next exercise is high knees. Okay, so again, nice straight posture. I'm going to gently lift the knee one at a time. Okay. Again, to progress this exercise, we could bring some arms in, increase the speed of that high knee action, or high the position of the knee. How does that feel, Rose?
It's good, thank you.
Do you still feel you're in a somewhat hard intensity? If you feel this is getting a little bit too demanding, let's just drop the position of our knees a little bit, as we still have a minute to go. We could also progress this exercise. You carry on as you are, Roz, by just bringing in the arms, tapping the hand to the opposite knee. We'll now be shortly moving on to our next exercise in the circuit. Again, we're going to maintain foot movement throughout. The upper back stretch, we're going to turn our hands over, leaving a little gap between both hands of the band. Okay. Position the band just above belly button height. We're going to pull out row into the tummy, hold that position, making sure the elbows are nice and tight into the side, slowly back and relax. We're going to repeat that process, keeping the posture nice and tall, keeping the breathing regulated. We would recommend 8 to 10 repetitions for this exercise. Again, to progress this exercise, we could use a high resistance band or bring our hands close together to feel higher intensity. How does that level feel, Russ?
Good.
Remember, if the exercise is feeling too demanding at this point, just take the band away and keep those feet tapping. How are you doing, Russ? Okay. Okay. We've shortly come to the end of this station. We're now going to move on to a box step. If you have exercise equipment at home, Roz will be showing you how to do step-ups, where I'll be doing a non-equipment based exercise called the box step. If you'd like to start stepping up and down. So for the box step, we're just going to gently put 2 legs in front of the other with a back step behind. How's that height, Ross? With adjustable step, you can obviously increase your step height to match your fitness level. If I wanted to increase the intensity of my box step as a non-equipment based exercise, I could bring in 2 arms. Again, if this feels too demanding, just go back to stepping with the legs. I could also widen my stance with a box step by stepping out further as I step back. How's that feel, Roz? You okay to carry on? If your legs at this stage are getting tired, let's just have a little march on the spot just to recover. When you feel rested, we can then revert back to our box step. So we're going to shortly be moving on to our next circuit. So again, little march on the spot just to stabilise our position, and we're going to do some resting toe taps forwards again. Okay, so it's nice, slow and controlled, tapping those feet forwards. Remember to have a drink. During the active recovery sessions, such as the band and free weights, there's a perfect opportunity to grab a drink. Again, if your legs are getting tired, Let's just go back to a gentle march on the spot. And we'll go back to tapping those feet forwards. We're now going to move on to a hamstring curl. If your balance isn't great, please use a chair for support. Does that feel nice and stable for us without the chair? To progress this exercise, we could bring in a bicep curl to make the heart rate a little higher, or widen our stance and speed with the hamstring curls for the legs. Your legs are getting tired at this stage. Let's just go into a nice march on the spot. When your feet feel rested, we can then revert back to our hamstring curl. How's that feeling in your legs, Ross? Let's go back into a little march again, just to rest our legs. How are you feeling? More repetitions before we move on to our next circuit. Okay, Ross, we're now going to move on to an upright row. Pop those weights together, gently bend the shoulder, arms nice and straight, just above chest height. Again, we'd recommend 8 to 10 repetitions. If you don't have free weight exercise at home, you could simply use the carabines. These will roughly weigh about 0.5 kilograms. Well done. Let's pop our weights back. We're now going to move on to another cardiovascular exercise. Keeping that posture nice and tall, we're gently going to tap the feet behind. So this would be our starting level. If this feels too easy, we can bring in some arms. And to progress a little bit further, we can bring the arms right out to shoulder height. Let's just lower those arms and keep those feet tapping. So we're halfway through our exercise now. How are you feeling? Okay, if your legs are getting tired, we could revert back to a march on the spot. Or we can just bring in the range of motion on with the legs. Okay? into a gentle march, just to loosen off those legs. We're now just going to go back to another rest period. So for this one, you can just tap the feet forwards with the support of the chair. Tapping those feet forward for us. That's it. The other way with the toes. So halfway through this exercise, if you feel legs off, being a little bit tired, we can just do some gentle tap of the feet. Keeping that posture nice and tall in the chair, so we're not stooping over. If you feel you've rested sufficiently, you can then go back to tapping the feet forwards. Okay, so that's the end of that exercise. So we're now going to revert back to our box step again. So as was shown earlier, Roz, the equipment based, is going to step up and down. I'm going to do a non-equipment based box step. So starting off just using those legs. And we could bring in some arms just to make the exercise that little bit more demanding. Progressing again to taking the arms right out to shoulder height. Let's relax those arms rather than just continue with our feet. If this gets too demanding, we can just have a little march on the spot to rest our legs. Okay, thank you. Let's revert back then to our box step. Okay, we're going to be moving on to our next exercise now. So we're going to do a chest press. Okay, our next exercise is a chest press using a resistance band. So place the band underneath the arms, ensuring you're not wrapping the band around your joints. Tuck the hands in nice and close to the chest. Don't worry if you have some excess band left over. Keeping those feet tapping, the posture nice and tall, we're going to gently push the band forward, leaving a gap in the elbow joint, and slowly back. Keeping that breathing regulated, we'd recommend you do this exercise 8 to 10 times. If after the 8th repetition it's been reasonably easy, we can progress to 10 to 15 repetitions. How's that feeling, Russ? To progress the exercise, we could also move up to a different exercise band, which will give you slightly more intensity. If at the halfway point the exercise is being a little bit too demanding, take the band away and keep those feet tapping. If you're happy to continue, carry on doing some 4 repetitions. So we're going to do 2 more repetitions before moving on to our last station, sit to stand. Nice straight back, pushing that bottom out to securely sit on the chair. So if you carry on, Roz, I'm going to demonstrate a freestanding squat just to progress this exercise. So you can use your arms for a little bit of support, pushing that bottom back, nice straight back, head looking forwards, making sure our knees are not going over our toes. How's that feeling, Roz? Because we're coming to the end of our circuit, you're feeling tired, just have a little march on the spot. We're going back to some sit to stands. Again, to progress it further, I'm going to again demonstrate a freestanding squat. You're fine to carry on in the chair, Roz, unless you'd like a little rest, keeping those feet happy. Just go back to your sit to stands. It's fine. Excellent. Let's go back into a march. Well done, everyone. That's the completion of your circuit.
Okay folks, we're going to start today's circuit with a little marching on the spot. So we're nice and warm from our warm-up. We're just going to head into a little march here. Just bring the knees up a little bit higher than we had during the warm-up phase. And just push the arms a little bit out by the sides. So we'll start nice and slow, Tim, and we'll ease it up as we go, okay? We'll break our way into this circuit nicely. So at home, if you're feeling as if the exercise is a little too easy for you at any stage while we're marching, you can always take your knees a little bit higher, or of course go a little bit faster with your speed. The movement should always be nice and controlled and nice and comfortable. And remember, we're working to what you feel is around a light to somewhat hard exertion. If it does tend to get a little bit hard for you at times, ease the arm movements down by the sides, or drop your knees a little bit lower. Okay, so we're about halfway through the exercise here. Are we feeling good, Tim? We okay? Excellent. Good. So it's a nice easy exercise to break us into things today. Things will get a little harder. Just for the last 30 seconds or so, let's pick up the pace a little bit. Okay? Good. Should be feeling nice and warm, folks. Don't worry if there's a little bit of sweat coming on the brow. Okay, that's coming towards the end of the first exercise. We're going to move on now to a sit to stand exercise. We bring our bottoms to the front third or the front half of the seat at least. A nice comfortable base with the toes directly below the knees. Nice tall posture, hands by the sides, and we're up and slowly down. Keeping the posture nice and tall as we go. Keep the breathing nice and regular. This is not an easy exercise. This will be challenging for a couple of minutes. If at any stage you need a little breather, you can always sit down and just tap your legs out. How are we there, Tim? Okay? Good. Again, we're working to what you feel is your light to moderate intensity. It should feel nice and comfortable. So we're just about halfway there now. Looking good. You should be feeling strong. If you feel as if it's getting a little tough, just have a little march out. If you're happy to carry on through, keep yourself going. When you're ready. Just a couple of things to remember at home with this exercise, folks. We don't really want to go much lower than the 90-degree bend at the knee. So make sure we pick a suitable, appropriate chair. And also we don't want to rock. So as we come back to the seat, we're nice and controlled with the posture. We shouldn't be letting the back swing towards the back of the chair like this. We should be nice and tall, nice and controlled. Okay, Tim, excellent stuff. That brings us to the end of the sit to stand exercise. We move on now, a little march of the legs to a strength exercise called the upper back strengthener. Okay, for the next exercise, we need one of these resistance bands. If you haven't got one of these already, then you can purchase one from the cardiac rehab team. We have 3 different grades to the band. We have a pink, a purple and a green band, all of different grades of resistance, starting at the lowest grade of the pink, through purple and then the strongest of the green band. Today we're going to use the simplest band, the pink one, for the purpose of the demonstration, and we're going to keep things nice and steady as we can progress with these bands and make things harder for ourselves anyway. So for the upper back strengthener, keep the legs marching, hands underneath the band, about a 2 to 3 inch gap between the hands to begin with, a nice 90-degree bend at the elbow, nice tall postures, breathing steady, clench the band, pull it apart, slow and controlled. Drift the band in towards the navel, pull the shoulder blades tight together. Keep your breathing nice and steady. Pause for a couple of seconds, forwards, and slowly relax. Feel the tension in the arms, the upper back, maybe a little bit across the chest. Keep the breathing steady, a little breather, and we go again. Out, and back, in towards your navel, hold for 2. Keep your breathing steady, forwards again, and relax. Feel a bit of tension in those arms as we go. Number 3, out we go again. Slide it back. Hold for 2, shoulder blades tight together. Forwards again, and relax. Okay, Tim? Feeling it in the arms, yeah? Good. If it's a little easy, bring your hands closer together. If it's a little difficult, take your hands a little further apart. Again, out we go. Slide it back. Hold for your 2, forwards, and relax. And again, take it out. Take it back. Hold for 2. Forwards again, and relax. We're halfway, another 5 reps, okay Tim? Here we go. In your own time, take it out again. Slide to your navel, hold for your couple of seconds, and bring it back in. Make sure we relax appropriately between each bout. Out we go again. Bring it back. Sliding forwards and relax. 3 to go. Take it out again. Take the band back. Couple of seconds hold. Breathing steady, forwards and relax. Last couple. In your own time. And the last one. And relax. Excellent. I don't know about you, Tim, but I'm just about ready for a drink there. Let's pop the bands down and grab yourself a little drink of water. Folks, don't forget to drink at home. Take on plenty of fluid throughout your workout. Remember, as we go, take little breaks when you need it for a little bit of fluid. Okay, we're moving on to the next exercise now, which is high knees. So, from the marching position, nice and comfortable. We feeling good to go, Tim? Yep. Excellent. Okay, let's just bring those knees high. Up towards about your hip height at least here. The higher the knees go, the harder the exertion. So if you find things a little challenging, you can drop your knees a little lower. Me and Tim are going to start off here for the first minute or so with some high knees, and then later we'll introduce a little bit of arm movement as well. How's that feeling for you, Tim?
Okay.
Good. The effort rating should be up to around about 11 to 13 on the effort rating or Borg scale. So what you feel is a light to somewhat hard intensity. Okay, for the next minute we're just going to change things up. A little bit of arm movement in here. We're just going to drift one hand to the opposite knee, with a little bit of a twist in the torso. So throughout this exercise we should be feeling ourselves breathing a little faster, feeling nice and warm. Of course, still smiling as we go. Again, a little reminder to yourself, if you're finding things a little challenging, revert back to just the high knees. Ease the pace off if we need to, yeah? Okay, we're going to fall back into a little march there. Just for a few seconds, take a breather. We're not going to change the exercise too much, we're going to stick with the high knees, but we're going to do something a little different with the arms this time round. So let's go back into the high knees again. This time we've got an arm pull down. So we're going to bring the arms down as the knee comes up. So reach the arms high, pull down as the knee comes up. Again, your pace, a comfortable speed. Keep the breathing nice and regular. We're just doing this one for about a minute. Heart rate should be up, should be feeling nice and warm. Okay, Tim? Yeah? If you need to, drop your hands a little lower, or drop your arms down by the side and take a little march out if you need, yeah? Keep it comfortable. Okay, last few seconds. Excellent. That's the end of that exercise. Back into a little march. Keep yourself on the move. Grab some fluid if you need some. The next exercise, we're going to need those trusty resistance bands again. This time, me and Tim have upgraded to the middle resistance, the purple band, and it's the chest press. So we take the band around the back. We bring that band up just underneath the armpits there. We get a little bit of tension in the band by moving the hands back a touch. Go easy on yourself to start with, don't be too cruel. Keep your posture nice and tall, and we're just going to push those arms out in front. Feel good tension, just push until we get just off straight. Don't quite lock the elbows out. Hold for a couple of seconds and slowly back in. In your own time, 10 reps we're looking for. Take it out. Hold for 2, keep your breathing nice and steady. And gently in. Out we go again. and relax. Count yourself down from 10. That's rep number 4 for us, I hope. And relaxing there. If you're finding this a little too easy, you can always make things a little bit harder. You can increase the tension in the band by moving your hands slightly further back. If it's too difficult, make it easier by moving your hands slightly further forwards. Keep a good amount of tension in the band. You should feel a little bit of strain in the muscles, both around the shoulders and in the upper arms. Your breathing should be nice and steady. Last one for us then. And relaxing there. Excellent. Okay, that's a good little recovery. Keep the legs marching. Let's move on to the next exercise now. Okay, so the next exercise for this circuit is the step. So if you have a step available at home, like Tim will be showing here, then it's nice and simple, up, 2, and down, 2 on the step, Tim. So if you'd like to get started with that, we're going to do about 3 minutes of stepping here. If you haven't got the step, not a problem. We can step without it. Just straight out in front and straight back. 3 minutes can be a long time for this exercise, so let's start slow and let's build our way in. Our effort rating throughout, again, what you feel is a nice moderate intensity, nice comfortable pace. As we're stepping forwards, try to step forwards on the balls of the feet. And keep a nice rhythm to your move. Keep the breathing comfortable. Okay, if we want to develop this exercise a little bit, if you haven't got the step at home and you want to change it up, then you can always have a close base at the front and a wider base behind. So a capital A formation. Just makes the exercise that little bit harder. Again, adjust the pace a little bit if you need to as well. Keep yourself nice and comfortable, but we should be breathing a bit deeper, a little faster now. Let's change it out again. Let's have a close base behind, a wider base in front. A capital V formation. Tim, how are we doing? Excellent, good. Hopefully you're feeling nice and warm at home, folks. Hopefully you're enjoying the circuit. Keep the breathing nice and steady. Again, if you need to pause at any stage for a little rehydration, please do. Let's bring that back to the straightforward step again. If you are stepping up and down like Tim here, a little reminder, we should change the leading leg every so often. I should do it also. Tends to be that the main workout is given to the leg that leads with the stepping, so changing them over will just help to balance the workout for both sides. Again, if you want to make things a little more difficult at home, you can always step on a slightly higher step as well. Okay, so just coming to the end of that exercise there, we'll break back into a little march. Excellent, well done Tim. We're going to move on now to another strength-based exercise or active recovery exercise with a set of weights. But alternatively at home, if you haven't got access to weights, you could just use a couple of tins of baked beans or something along those lines. They're about ½ kilo each per tin for those. So they're a nice alternative. If we've got the weights, then we're going to pop the weights together, nice and low. We're going to keep our postures nice and tall. Keeping the weights together, bring the elbows up towards your shoulder height and slowly down. This is a nice relaxing exercise. This is used as an opportunity for our bodies to recover a little bit. We keep the breathing nice and steady, slow leg movements and a nice controlled movement. Try not to fall into a trap of bringing the elbows down here. Try to point the elbows nice and high, up towards your shoulder height. So we're just doing this exercise for around about a minute, folks, just a short recovery. And we're just over halfway there. If you really need to take a breather, you can drop the march down to just little taps of your heels behind. And that brings us to the end of the exercise for the hamstring curl. So from the marching position, we're going to bring those heels up towards the bottom cheek behind. Starting off with a nice comfortable base and a nice comfortable speed. So you're aiming to flick your heel up towards your bottom cheek. And to make this a little harder, we open the base out a little wider. If we also want to progress the exercise a little more, we can put the arms in, so we can bring a little bicep curl in. Curl the arms as we curl at the knee. Keep the breathing steady again, working up towards your moderate intensity. If it feels a little tough, drop the arms out. Okay, that's a nice quick exercise. We'll come back into a march there and we'll move on to our next station. Our next station is the lateral back step. So we're going to take little steps this time behind, off at a slight angle behind. That's excellent, Tim. Good. Are we feeling okay? Good. So we're about halfway through today's circuit, folks. We should all be feeling strong. We should all be still feeling nice and good. Remember, if you are struggling a little bit, you can always ease the pace back and you can take a little breather whenever you need to. Let's open those movements out a little wider now, Tim. Good. And let's see if we can put some arm movements in as well here. So arms up towards your shoulder height. Just a small movement. Keep a little bit of bend at the elbow. Excellent. Again, if it's getting a little tough, bring the base a little closer, slow the movements down, or take the arms out. Are we okay, Tim? Excellent, good. Feeling nice and warm. We're over halfway. Things just get easier from here on in. We wish. Okay, let's change it a little more. Let's take those arms out a little wider now. You control the speed. Nice and comfortable with your pace. Nice and wide with the arms. Okay, we're coming towards the end of that exercise there, so we'll come back into our little march again. And the next exercise is going to involve those weights or those cans of beans if you've got them. It's marching straight into the recovery exercise, lateral raise. Bring the weights up towards your shoulder height and slowly back down. Again, it's a nice controlled exercise. We work those muscles in the outside of the arms, but it shouldn't feel too strenuous. Lots of repetitions, not too much strain. Again, if things are a little challenging, we can drop the arms a little lower. And if you're really feeling as if your arms are getting quite tight in this deltoid region, change it over to a little bicep curl instead. Okay folks, that's the end of our recovery. We'll pop those weights down and we'll move on to the next exercise. Next for us today is marching on the spot. So we're going to march it out. A little bit of speed then, Tim. Let's get those knees up, let's get those arms pushing by the sides. Again, we should feel nice and warm. We should feel as if we're working towards that light to moderate intensity. But if things are a little difficult, drop your arms down by your sides, ease your knees a little lower, ease the pace off. If you're happy to, we can pick the pace up a little faster. And if you're really feeling strong, you could even break into a little march on the spot. But keep it at a nice comfortable pace for yourself. Are we okay, Tim? Excellent, good. So we're around halfway there, folks. I'd suggest maybe we just ease off the pace a little bit there. Let's just ease the pace down a touch. And we'll start to increase that pace again if you're happy to. Let's drive those elbows back a little bit with the march. And those knees up a little bit higher if we can. Nice regular breathing as usual. And we're drawing to the end of that exercise again there. We're not going to get too much of a breather here, Tim, as we're going straight onto the sit to stand exercise now, okay? So we'll grab our chairs. Don't forget to have a little drink of water whenever you need. And a mop of the brow if you need as well. So back to the sit to stand exercise. So the same as earlier on today, earlier on in the circuit, we're on the front third of the seat, the postures are nice and tall, around about a 90-degree bend is what you're looking for in the knee there. If you have problems with your knees, try to pick a seat that's a little higher. Try to start from an angle somewhat up here rather than down at the 90 degrees. The lower you go, the harder the exercise will be. So nice and tall. Again, hands can go on the thighs for a bit of support if you need. If not, relax by the sides and away we go. Straight up and straight down. You dictate the speed. Nice and controlled, nice and steady. If you find this exercise at home particularly difficult, you can always take little spells of rest within the exercise. So maybe count yourself down for 10 reps, sit and have a little breather and a little march of the legs, and then go again when you're ready. Nice and regular with the breathing. If you are finding this exercise particularly easy, then you can progress things a little further still. Where we come down towards the chair, what we can do is just drift off the chair and back up. It will make the exercise a little bit harder. You're not pushing all your weight through the seat. Keep your breathing nice and comfortable. How are we feeling, Tim? Excellent, nice and warm. Nearly there. We'll get a little breather in a few seconds time and an opportunity to rehydrate. Okay, so that's the end of that exercise. Keep a little movement in the legs, another little drink of fluid, and we're on to the twist and pull exercise. Okay, so we keep those legs marching. For the next exercise again, we go back to the resistance bands. Pink grade for this one for me and Tim. We're going to half the band. We're going to take the hold of the band around about the central region, pop the other hand on top, rest the elbows by the sides, around about a 90-degree bend at the elbow, clench the band, and we're going to squeeze the band, twist as if we're opening a bottle or a jar, and gently pull apart. Hold for a couple of seconds, feel a little strain, slowly relax. Come back to rest. And again, we squeeze, we twist, and we pull apart. Don't grit your teeth, just feel a little strain, relax it down. Important with this one, folks, that we don't let the elbows drift away from the body. Keep them close, nice and controlled. Squeeze, twist, and pull apart. And relax. One more on that side then, Tim. Okay, so squeeze again, twist it in, pull it up. Hold for your 2, relax it down. Let's change it over to the other side. So swap your hands around now. Opposite hand on top. Slightly different action. You'll feel slightly different in the muscles that you contract. So again, keep your elbows close. Squeeze the band. Twist the top hand coming in, or the wrist coming in. Pull apart. Hold for a couple of seconds. And relax. Back to rest. Squeeze it again. Twist it out. Pull it apart. And relax. In your own time. Look to do around 5 or 6 repetitions on each side with this one, folks. And just one more for us then. Squeeze again, twist it out, make it a good one, pull it apart. Hold for 2. And relax. Excellent. That's the end of that exercise, folks. Pop the bands to the side. And we're moving back on to the high knees. We don't need to use the arms too much to start with. We just bring those knees back nice and high. Are we feeling good, Tim? Excellent. Good. You should still be feeling nice and warm at home, folks. We're going to do these high knees for some time, but we will change things up as we go. So let's mix it up a little bit by bringing those arms back in, as we did earlier on. A little twist in the torso. Bring the knee to the opposite hand. Again, you control the pace. Again, if it's a little difficult, why not bring the knees a little lower? Keep your breathing nice and steady. Around about your light to moderate intensity. You don't need to go much harder than that. Okay, Tim, let's drop the arms out, just the knees on their own here. And we'll introduce the arms again, but this time with the arm pulled out. So bring the knee up, pull the arms down. Again, you dictate the speed, keep the movements controlled and comfortable. The higher we reach and the higher the knees, the higher the exertion. So If you want to make things a little easier, bring your arms lower, bring your knees down. If you want to make things harder, bring your knees and hands higher, put a little more speed in the moves. Excellent work, Tim, we're doing good, we're doing well. Okay, last couple of reps. Excellent, let's bring that back into a little march again. Okay folks, that concludes your exercise circuit for today. Excellent work, well done, see you again next time. We're going to move on to a little bit of a cool down exercise now, just to ease the body back towards our resting state.
Okay, so we're going to start our circuit today with just a gentle march on the spot. Aiming to go into a little jog on the spot, but like the other exercise we've done, we're just going to build that intensity up nice and slowly. So how's that speed, Ken?
That's fine, I can go faster if you want.
Okay, let's start to pick up the speed a little bit. So we're going into a moderate jog on the spot or on the trumpet. So if you do have a trumpet at home, just be careful that with the trumpet your feet are getting too to the edge. So like the other exercises, we're aiming for a light to somewhat hard intensity on our Borg scale. Still okay, Ken?
I think so.
Yeah. Making sure we're watching our posture as well, as we're marching on the spot and having a little jog. Okay, Ken, let's pick that intensity up a little bit more. So still what feels comfortable for you. Because this exercise is a little bit more demanding, we do just need to make sure we pace it a little. Again, the more we drive our arms forwards and backwards, the harder the exercise is going to be. Okay, we'll bring that intensity back down a little bit. So lowering those knees, slowing down our arm movements. If it gets too demanding, we can literally go back to a nice, slow, controlled march on the spot. What would you say your intensity is at the moment, Ken?
That's a bit moderate, I think.
Okay, excellent. Let's just pick our intensity up a little bit more. Okay, for a few seconds, make it count. Okay, let's slow back down to a little march on the spot. Our next exercise is a forward lunge. Okay, so we'll just swap over. For the lunge, again we want to keep our posture nice and tight. Gentle lunge forward, so making sure we're bending that front leg. The lower we have that back knee, the harder it is. We're going to come back to the centre and move on to the other leg. How does that feel? Yeah? Making sure when we're pulling forward, our knee isn't going over our toe. Okay? So we're going to literally try 10 repetitions and then have a little march on the spot. So after this one, Ken, we're going to do one more on each leg. Let's have a little march on the spot to break the exercise up. And then we'll do another 10 repetitions. Feeling okay?
Okay, thank you.
So this time let's just take our lunge a little bit further. So making sure that back leg is nicely pulling down back to the centre. Halfway there. Another 5. And keeping that posture nice and straight. Last one, we'll have a little march on the spot. Legs not too tired?
Not too hard, getting there.
Okay. Okay, we're going to move on to a hamstring curl anyway now, okay? Grab a drink if you need one before we start. You okay?
Fine, no,
Yeah.
thank you.
So what we're going to do is stance, feet shoulder width apart to start. We're going to gently tap those feet behind. At home, remember, if you do need a little bit of support, you can use a chair just to support yourself. So again, we'll just start nice, slow and controlled. Because it's very repetitive, if your legs do get tired, again we can go back into a march on the spot or just bring in the range of motion a little bit. How's that feeling, Ken?
That's fine, thank you.
Let's just bring in our base a little bit. Okay. If you're feeling okay, we can bring in an alternate bicep curl just to make things a little bit more difficult. Okay, so halfway through. If you're feeling fine, we can progress it again and just add in 2 arms. If the less intensity is fine, stay as you are. If it's too hard, take the arms away. How are those legs feeling?
Fine, thanks. Yep.
Good. Okay, let's just go back to 1 arm. So let's take the intensity down just a little. Okay, Ken, last couple of reps. Let's relax those arms. Let's go back into a march to get our base back. We're now going to do step ups with arms. Okay, so gently tapping those feet up and down. So out to the front, 2 to the back. So we're going to start with no arms. Can just increase intensities by doing a wider base at the front, tucking the feet in at the back. It's what we call a V formation. You could do something similar, Ken, with the step. You're nice and secure. Perfect. We go back to our normal stepping up and down. We could add in some arms if we wanted to, if the intensity wasn't too high. So all we're going to do is just bring in a nice shadow punch. Now if that's feeling a little bit too demanding, take those arms away. How are you feeling?
Fine, thank you.
Take those arms away again, just to make sure to protect your knee joints. You can always change that lead leg, so we'll do that now. If you're feeling fine, we can bring those arms back in.
Okay.
If you're happy as you are, just keep those. Last couple, Ken, I've lost my slug now. Okay, let's go back into our march. So if you do have weights at home, you can use them. If not, as we demonstrated earlier, we do have some tins of these. So if you want to take the weights, Ken,
Yep.
keep those feet tapping. With the lateral raise, we're going to gently move the arms up to shoulder height, hold for a few seconds and relax. Again, we're aiming for about 8 to 10 repetitions. If that's feeling fine, extend to about 15. If you want to carry on, I'm just going to demonstrate how you can do this exercise without any free weights or your tins of beads. You can literally gently raise the arms to shoulder height, gently bringing in some shoulder hand rotations. If that's feeling a little bit hard on your shoulders, Ken, you can revert to a bicep curl. Excellent, let's pop those weights back here. Our next exercise is stepping high knees with arms, okay? So let's just start then getting those knees up to a reasonable height. We can use our arms just to drive our knees forward. To make this exercise harder, we can add some arms in. So we're going to gently twist the hand to the opposite knee. Feeling okay?
Thanks, yes.
Little twist on the upper body. Let's just take those hands out for a little rest and just continue with the knees. Are you happy to continue, Ken? We're going to go back. Just twisting with the arms. How's that intensity feeling?
That's fine, thanks, yeah.
And if not, if you're getting a little bit tired, take the arms away and carry on with our high knees. If you want to have a little rest, Ken, you can take those arms away and just carry on with the high knees. Okay, so we're coming to the end of this exercise. Let's just go back into our march on the spot to have a little rest. We're now going to do some squats. Bend both knees slightly. The idea is we're going to keep our back straight, push down, popping that bottom out, okay? Making sure we have a little look down that our knees are not going over our toes, okay? You don't have to put your arms out for support. Sometimes it just helps you a little as we're squatting. Okay? So again, we're going to do 10 repetitions of these. Just go down a little, that's it, just have a little rest, and we'll move it on and progress it a little bit more throughout the station. So nice and slow, nice and slow. I think we'll reserve a drink after this one, Ken.
Okay.
So if that's feeling fine, we can go down a little bit low with the squats. So another 5 reps. Let's just have a little march on the squat to loosen those legs up. Do you still feel you're working at a somewhat hard intensity?
Yes, yes.
Excellent. Okay, a few more squats then before we move on to our next circuit. So off we go again to squat down to a comfortable position. checking those knees aren't going over the toes. Three more. And back into a little more, just release those legs. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is stepping those feet behind. So as we tap the feet behind, we're going to go off centre a little bit. Remember to have hydration breaks if you need it. Are you okay, Ken? Would you want some water?
Thanks,
Yeah?
yeah.
We can grab some water in our next recovery station. So again, to progress this, we can step the legs out a little bit more, gently bringing some arms. So shoulder height, crossing those arms, the hands slightly. Slow that foot pace down a little bit. Let's just take those arms away, Ken, just continue with the feet. And we'll add our arms back in for a few more repetitions. So let's just widen that stance a little bit, Ken. So we're coming out, leaving a little gap in those elbow joints again. How's that feeling?
That's fine, thanks, yep.
Good. And to bring it down a little bit more, let's just go back to just crossing the hands over a little bit. Okay, let's just continue with the feet before we move on to our upright row. So marching on the step squat for our recovery exercise. Weights together, bringing those elbows up nice and high, that's it, and slowly back down. Okay? Feel alright?
That's fine.
Don't lift too high, just about shoulder height. Don't want anything above the head, and slowly back down so we've got a slight gap in our elbow joint. We'll definitely get some water after this one, Ken. Feeling okay on the deltoid muscles, yeah?
Right, yes.
Okay, well done. Let's grab a drink. So again, just starting nice and slow, just a nice pace. Knees not too high. We can still bring in those arms. This is feeling reasonably easy. So again, reflecting onto our rating of perceived exertion chart. We're not too high. We don't feel it's somewhat hard. Let's just pick that speed up a little bit. How's that?
That's fine, thank you.
We're at our halfway point now, so depending on how you're feeling, I'm feeling okay, I'm just going to increase that pace a little bit. You just go off how you're feeling. those knees down a little bit. Still feel that you're at a light, somewhat hard intensity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring those legs down a little bit more. Okay, I'll start to slow it down a little bit, Ken, because we've got forward lunges coming up again, so let's move this trumpet out of the way. So we're going to go back to doing our forward lunges, okay? So again, nice gentle bend of the legs, just take that back leg down, that feels comfortable for you. Again, we're going to do 10 repetitions. So make sure that back leg is trailing perfect. Keeping that back nice and straight, head looking forwards. So dropping that back leg down further will make that exercise that little bit more intense. Let's have a little march on the spot just to shake our legs up. Are you ready to do some more?
Okay.
Yeah, if you're feeling tired, you carry on marching on the spot. If not, we'll proceed and do a few more forward lunges. We'll do one more on each leg. Let's just bring that bend down a little. Let's have a little march on the spot. So we're just over halfway. So it is quite demanding on the legs, this one.
Yes.
Grab some more water if you wish to. Okay. I'm going to carry on doing a few more forward lunges until we move on to our next exercise. One more, Ken. Excellent. We're going to go back to marching on the spot. So we're going back to hamstring curls. So remember, if you need support, you can use a chair to support yourself. If not, feet shoulder width apart, gently flicking those feet out towards the bottom. So we'll start nice, slow and controlled. Still feel this is a somewhat hard intensity, Ken?
This is fine.
Yeah?
So I just.
So maybe just carry on this pace then until you recover from that last station.
Yep.
Again, if we did want to progress the exercise, we can widen our base and go that little bit quicker. So I'm just going to bring in a few arms as well. Or alternatively, we could punch forwards, again just making sure there's a little gap in our elbow joint, we're not locking out the arms. We'll take the arms away again and just continue with our legs. Feeling a little bit better now, Ken?
Yes.
Good. Just bring your stance in a little bit just to help our legs out. And we're going to move on to stepping now.
Thank you.
So stepping up and down again for you can. I'm going to demonstrate the stepping with the non-equipment exercise. So, making sure that whole foot is on the step. And again with this one, we can bring in our arms. So come across. And if that's still feeling fine, you can take those arms out a little bit wider. How's that feeling?
That's fine, thank you. Yes, good.
Let's just go back to crossing the hands over. We're halfway there, Ken, so let's just take those arms away a little bit. Just go and carry on with the feet. And we can widen our stance again, so nice and tight at the front, taking those feet out wider at the bottom. Still feeling at a light to somewhat hard intensity.
Yes.
So let's just go back to our stepping in a line. Just bringing those arms in again. Okay. We gently come to a stop, so keeping those feet tapping. We're going to bring the weights about just under shoulder height. We're going to gently press out, again leaving a gap in the elbow joint, slowly back into the chest, okay? How does that weight feel?
It's fine.
Yeah? Keeping that breathing nice and regulated. Try not to hold your breath during these free weight exercises. How are you feeling? We're halfway point now. If it is feeling a little bit intense, we can always go back to an upright row. But if we're feeling fine, we can press out and try another 5 to 6 repetitions of the forward row. Okay, 2 more then, Ken. Excellent, and relax it. Back into a march to start, and we're going to carry on and do some high knees with arms, okay? So just bringing in the high knees to start. That's it, keeping that posture nice and straight. So just move those legs to a position that feels comfortable for you. We're going to bring in some arms this time. We're just going to twist the hand to the opposite knee. Okay? Just bring that intensity down a little bit. Take those arms out. Just lower the knee position. So we're halfway. How are you feeling?
Fine, thank you. Yes.
Okay, if that's feeling okay, let's just take the intensity of those knees up a little bit more. And if you're feeling okay, again we can just bring in the hands to the opposite knee. going to start to bring that knee height down. Okay, next we're going to move back onto squats. Okay, heart, nice soft stance. We're going to push that bottom out. To start with, just go down to where it feels a comfortable position for you, making sure those knees aren't going over the toes. If that position feels comfortable, we can go down a little bit lower with the squat. Just holding for a few seconds and then coming back up. So we're going to do 2 more. We'll have a little march on the spot. Let's just break it up with a march. And if we're happy, we'll do another 10 repetitions, okay?
Yep.
So again, back into position, gently down, pushing that bottom out, keeping the back nice and straight. If anybody finds this too difficult, we could bring the chair back in and do the sit to stand exercises that we've demonstrated previously. We'll do 3 more and a little march on the spot. Excellent. Let's loosen those legs up. How are you feeling?
Fine, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, Pen, we'll manage 5 more.
Okay.
Yeah? So nice, slow and controlled, 5 more squats, and then we'll be able to move on to our next station. A few more.
Yep.
Last one, and back into a gentle march. Well done. And we did this one earlier. We're going to tap the feet behind to a little angle, not too far back to start. That intensity feels fine. We can start to widen our stance a little bit. We'll go a little bit quicker. That's still feeling manageable. You could bring in a bicep curl. Let's just take that arm down to just 1 bicep curl. And just tapping with those feet. Feel okay? Not too warm? We'll have another little drink stop after this exercise. And we can try some gentle punches forward. Take those arms away, Ken. We'll just carry on the remaining few seconds with the feet. Excellent. Okay, so our last exercise is an upper back strengthener, and we're going to use the pink band for this exercise. So let's turn our hands the opposite way. Few inches gap between your hands. Bring the band down to belly button height. As we pull the band out, rowing into the tummy, so keeping those elbows nice and close, back and release. Okay, We're going to repeat that process for about 8 to 10 repetitions. The intensity feels quite easy. We can bring our hands in closer or move to the purple band. How's that feeling?
That's fine. Yeah.
So a few more repetitions.
Okay.
Keeping that breathing nice and regulated, we're going to do 2 more repetitions and that will be the end of our circuit. Last one. And relax. Keep those feet tapping. So well done everyone, that's the end of our circuit and you'll now move to your cool down.
Okay, so this is our exercise circuit for today. We're going to start off with some jogging on the spot. So start with a march, gradually progress your pace up, keep your arms working by the sides and bring yourself into a little jog. Nice and steady. I'll be demonstrating the non-equipment based version and Claire to my right here will be demonstrating the equipment. So if you've got a little handy tramped at home, why not utilise that for this circuit. So we're taking things nice and steady. Building the tempo up, we're keeping the knees nice and low to begin with, and we're working to what we feel is about our light intensity. This first exercise will last around 3 minutes, so do pace yourselves well. And do keep your postures nice and tall. Just keeping on the balls of our feet for this jogging. We're around about halfway. Let's take the knees up a little higher if we can. Keep the pace comfortable for yourself. A light to moderate intensity. Okay, let's ease the knees down and ease the pace. Into a slow march. And we move on to our second station, which is the forward lunge. So keep the legs moving, take a nice comfortable base, and we're going to take a simple step out in front, drop the back knee, down towards the floor and back up. Other side. Slow and controlled. Focus on dropping that back knee down towards the floor. Nice bend in the back knee. Keep the postures tall. Keep the breathing steady. You dictate the speed. Let's do 5 more before we take a little breather. Okay, a little march out. Give yourself a few seconds just to catch your breath. Keep your breathing nice and steady. Ease the pace of the march down if you need to take a little bit more of a breather. And we go again. A comfortable base. Step it out. If we want to progress this exercise, of course, we lunge a little deeper. If we want to regress the exercise, then we lunge a little higher. So just coming towards the end of the exercise bout there. Just 2 more. Excellent. Back into the march again. 2 minutes of hamstring curls. So we'll start off with a comfortable base. Bring the heel up towards the bottom behind. So we start with a nice controlled base. We can open the base out a little wider if we wish. And we can introduce a bicep curl. One arm like myself, or both arms like Claire if you wish. Let's drop the arms down for a moment. And let's take a little punch out in front. And lower the arms. Bring the base in. And ease the pace down. Back to a march again. Loosen the legs off. If you're finding things a little tough, ease right down, tap your heels behind. Have a little breather. Don't forget to keep hydrated, grab a drink whenever you can. If you're happy just to march, then we can do that now. Okay, the next exercise is the squat. So we start with a nice comfortable base again. And from that position, we're just going to drop the bottoms down behind, bending at the knees. So slowly down, nice and controlled, and back up we come. Nice and controlled with the moves. The deeper we go, the harder it is. I'm going to try for 10 reps to start with. Okay, let's march it out. That's good. We should be feeling nice and warm now. And we'll go again. Comfortable base. Into your squat. Try not to lean the torso too far forwards when you're squatting. You'll notice both I and Claire using our hands for a little bit of balance, a little bit of support. Let's do 5 more. Let's go a little deeper if we can. And into a march again. Okay, we're going to move on to the next exercise now, and it's the step ups. So Claire will be stepping up and down on the equipment side here with the step. If you've got a step at home, of course, adjust that step to a suitable height for yourself if possible. And we'll make a start with this exercise. If you haven't got the step, just follow me. Straight forward to start. We're doing well, folks. Approaching halfway in the circuit. Let's change this exercise a little bit. Narrow at the front, wide at the back. Capital A formation. You dictate the speed, keep it comfortable for yourself. If it's too easy, go a little faster. Light to somewhat hard intensity is what we're looking for. Let's change it back to the straight steps again. If you haven't already, we're about halfway, so change your leading leg. We'll change it out, this time a capital V formation. Wide at the front, narrow at the back. Keep light on your feet. Keep your breathing nice and steady. Last few steps then, that's good work. Okay, let's bring ourselves back to a march again here. Take the equipment out of the way. Back into the march again. And high knees for the next one. Let's bring those knees up. Up towards your hip height if we can. The higher the knees, the higher the effort. If you find things a bit tough by this stage, drop the knees a little lower. We've got 2 minutes of this exercise, folks, so let's take it steady and change it up as we go. let's introduce some arm work then. Claire's going to twist at the torso and bring the hands across to opposite knee. And I'm going to do something slightly different with the arms that you can try if you like at home. Pull down with the arms as your knee comes up. Again, anything we do with the arms makes things a little more difficult. So if you need to, take the arms out at any stage. If you're finding it tough, ease the pace down. Last few seconds. Okay, back into the march again. Time for refreshments, folks. Let's take on a little bit of fluid now. Okay, we've taken on a bit of hydration. We're now going to roll on with the circuit. Second half of the circuit here. So the lateral back step to begin with. So let's take those toe taps down behind at an angle. Start with a fairly narrow base. We can progress as we go. Let's keep the tempo in the moves. Let's progress things. Let's open that base out a little wider. Let's put the arms in. Take those arms a little wider. Keep the pace comfortable for yourself. Light to moderate intensity. If it's beyond that, slow the pace. Drop the arms. Doing well, folks. Looking strong. Even though I can't see you. Okay, let's drop the arms off for a moment. Bring the base narrow. Let's recover for a few seconds. And let's build again, a little wider with the base. And the arms. Small to start. Bent elbows. And take it out, long arms. I hope we're all still smiling at home, folks. We should be feeling good. We should be feeling nice and warm. Okay, let's ease it down. Take the arms out, just the legs. Bring the base in, nice and narrow. And we're back to the march again. Excellent stuff. Keep it going. Okay, moving on to the next station. It's jogging on the spot again. 3 minutes again of jogging on the spot now. So we start off with the march. We progress the pace. We bring the knees up a little higher. Little jog. Again, if you do have joint issues, if you have problems with your knees, your ankles, your hip joints, and it's likely that a slightly less load-bearing activity on the trampet would be a better option for yourself if you have one available. Slightly less impact. Just keep on our toes with the jogging. Keep it comfortable. Okay, let's bring the knees up a little higher. And ease it back. Almost there, folks. Let's keep it comfortable. Again, if you need a breather at any stage, ease it back. And that's coming just to the end of that bout, so ease your pace down. Pop the trampet off. Okay, marching out again. On to the next exercise then. Back to the forward lunge with a little variation this time. So from a comfortable base, we start off with the basic lunge. One step out, drop your back knee, back up we come. 10 reps. Slow and controlled. Don't let that back knee quite touch the floor, but the deeper it goes, the harder the exercise. With that said, if we want to make things easier, bring that back knee a little higher. Okay, let's test ourselves a little more now, a little pulse with these lunges from the next one. So we drop, we pulse, 2, 3, and we're up. Other side, drop, 2, 3, and up. Excellent. Little pulse. Feel that little extra strain on those muscles. The bigger the step, the harder the lunge. And back to a march. Last couple then. Straightforward lunge. back into a march in your own time. Hamstring curl. So from a comfortable base, we take those heels towards your bottom again. Again, have a little break in between for a little drink if you need one. Keep your breathing nice and steady, keep your legs moving. Start with a narrow base. Open it out a little wider. Taking a bicep curl. And drop the arms. And punch out in front. Again, if it's a little challenging, drop the arms. Keep the legs movements going. Light to moderate intensity is what we're looking for. Okay, let's ease off the arms, just the legs. And narrow the base. Back to the march again. Excellent, folks, doing really well here. Okay, we're back onto the squats again. You've done it before. Comfortable base. Start high as we drop in. And up. Slow and controlled. Start with 10 reps again. The deeper we go, the harder it is. Remember, if this is tough on your knees at home, you can use a prop, you can use a chair or a stool at home for a little bit of support. Let's march it out. Ready again? Here we go. Drop it down. Halfway, folks, doing well. Let's march it out again. And when you're ready, back to your base. Let's go again. Slight alteration on this one. Go with me if you can. Down, little pulse, and up. Slow and controlled. Little pulse, and up. Keep it steady, keep it comfortable. 2 more. Excellent, back to a march again. Okay, we're going back to the step ups now, folks. If you've got your step, bring that across. You got a towel? Wipe the sweat off your head. Okay, here we go. 3 minutes of stepping then. Away we go. Start straight. Start with the basics. You dictate the speed, remember, and we change the leading leg every so often. Let's change it out to that capital A formation there. Narrow at the front, wide at the back. Looking good, folks, feeling strong. Let's keep ourselves going. Back to the straight steps again. And the capital V formation. Wide at the front, narrow at the back. You haven't changed your leading leg at this stage. Do you change over now? How's the pace, folks? Keep it steady for yourself. Don't follow the speed of me and Claire. If you're finding it difficult, you can always ease it back. Of course, if it's too easy, why not go a little faster? Let's straight step again. And we'll take some arms in this time. So push it out, out and swim it back. Out, out, swim it back. Excellent. Claire's favourite move. Keep those arms nice and high. Good practice for all you swimmers out there. Nearly there. Last few reps. Excellent work. And march it out. Next exercise, folks, last couple now. Last two exercises here. We've got 2 minutes of high knees now, so let's bring those knees up. Start with just the legs. Again, the speed is dictated by how you're feeling. We're late on in the circuit now. If you're finding things a little tough, knees a little lower. If you're happy to, knees can come higher. Your call. Okay, how about some arms then? Here we go. Twist to start. That's halfway, folks. Looking good. If you want to change things up, we can change the arms. If you're happy staying as you are, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to change it a little. So, I'm going to do the pull downs. Breathing, still nice and steady. Feeling nice and warm. Okay, take the arms out, just the legs. And we fall back into a little march again. Take a few seconds, we're nearly there. Last exercise for today's circuit then, folks. It's that back step again. So take the tap back. Narrow base to start. Keep it comfortable. Your pace to what works you to your light to moderate intensity. Open the base out a little wider if you're comfortable too. And arms. Small to start. Open them wide. Narrow arms again. And take the arms wide. Okay, we've got about a minute left of this circuit, folks. Looking good. Almost there. Last minute. It doesn't mean that we have to push and put everything into that last minute, remember. Keep it steady. Keep it comfortable. If you need to ease back, please do. Let's narrow the arms again. And take the arms down. Narrow the base. And back to the march again. Okay folks, excellent workout. That's your circuit done again for today. Very well done. See you again next time. Move on to your cool down. Okay folks, so we've had a nice workout. We're all feeling nice and warm now. We'll just start to ease things down. So starting off here with little toe taps out in front. A little bit of speed in the movements to begin with, and we'll take the arm swings out high. Arms up towards the shoulder height to begin with, and in your own time gradually lower those arm movements. With each little push, come a little lower. Look to gradually reduce the arm movements down to your thighs. Remember, this is a cool down. Everything should be feeling nice and steady for us now, and things should just get easier and easier as we work our way through. So drop those hands nice and low, just off the thighs. And we'll come back into a march again. As we march, let's just ease the pace down. Reduce the speed of the march a little. Keeping those postures nice and tall, we'll change the exercise this time to a little heel tap in front. A little slower with the speed this time. And just drop some small movements in with the arms. An easy bicep curl. Nice and slow with the movements. And let's drop those arms down towards the thighs again. So nice and low with the arm movements, the pace nice and steady. And let's come back to a march again. A nice slow pace to the march now. Make sure we've got plenty of space out to the sides. We're going to drop the toe taps out to the sides. To the pace, nice and slow, nice and steady. Gentle arm swings, slowly to the shoulder height to begin. And in your own time, lower those arms. Everything should be feeling nice and steady, nice and comfortable for us now. The breathing rate should be settling down, the heart rate's coming down too. And of course, we're all still smiling. Okay, relax those arms. Just carry on with the toe taps. And the speed, nice and slow. Let's come back to a march again. Slow marching. And some small toe taps behind. And a march again. Okay, we're going to ease the pace of the marching right down now so that we fix the toes to the floor and we gently march the heels behind. Okay, for our next exercise, we're going to just focus on the legs and keep the arms nice and relaxed. What we want to do is just take the little toe taps out in front, reach to a comfortable point to begin, and with each little tap, just come a little closer towards the body. So we're starting with bigger movements further away, and with each tap, we come a little closer. The speed really slow, really easy now. Let's finish up with small movements, nice and close to the body. Nice and slow. And come back to a very gentle march. How are we all feeling, folks? We okay? Yep. Good. Should be feeling nice and easy, nice and settled now. Let's do the same move but taking the toes out to the sides. Reach out to a comfortable point, not too far, keep it comfortable, and with each little tap we'll come a little closer to the center line. Again, the speed is nice and slow now. The movement's nice and controlled. Breathing nice and comfortable. We finish up again with very small movements close to the sides. And we'll come back to a little march again. Again, we'll fix the toes and we'll tap the heels behind. We'll round things off with a few little stretches down just to make sure that the muscles are nice and loose. Starting off with the calf stretch, lower part of the leg here. A nice comfortable base to begin, toes pointing forwards. We're going to take one step forward with your right leg Pop your hands on that right thigh at the front, bend the knee a little and lean gently forwards. As you lean forwards, keep your back leg nice and straight, your back heel fixed to the floor, and you should feel a good stretch in the calf on your left side. And gently relaxing there. Back to our heel taps again. And across to the other side. From your base, step out this time with your left leg, hands on, bend your knee, lean gently forwards. Keep the breathing nice and regular, nice and steady. These stretches we can hold for around 8 to 10 seconds, or even a little longer if you feel comfortable too. Maybe up to 30 seconds would be maximum. And relaxing there, back to the heel taps again. Okay, next we move up the body to the shoulder stretch. So as Claire will have demonstrated earlier in the warm-up, we're going to take your right hand, place it on your left shoulder. Take your left hand under your right arm, and we're going to reach back with the right arm beyond the shoulder as far as we can. Keep the breathing nice and regular again. Just feel a little stretch across the outside of the shoulder. And remember to also keep those heels gently tapping. Okay, gently relaxing there, changing over to the other side. This time your left hand to your right shoulder, your right under the arm for support, and reaching back. Again, the breathing nice and steady, nice and regular. And gently relaxing there. Okay, for the next stretch we're going to stretch the hamstrings or back of thigh region. You can either do this seated or you can do it in a standing position. So what we need to do is take a little half step out in front with our left legs, pop the hands on the thigh for a little bit of support, and gently sit the bottoms down behind. In the seated position here you can see that we're sitting with a nice tall posture, the legs supported on the bent thigh, and we just tilt from the hips and lean gently forward, Roz. Lovely, that's it. Hold there for again around your 10 seconds. Keep your breathing nice and comfortable, and we can relax there. Come gently forwards onto the toe and a little tap out. We'll change it over to the other side. From the comfortable base, soften the knees gently. This time we'll take a little half step out with our left legs. We'll pop the hands on the right thigh for a little bit of support, and we'll sit the bottoms down behind. So again, a little bend from the hips for you, Roz. Feeling the stretch in the hamstring region, back of thigh region there. The breathing nice and steady again. And again a 10-second hold. And forwards onto the front toe. A little tap out with the heels. The final stretch today is going to be the thigh stretch. So for this we may need an obstacle for a bit of support. So we pull a couple of chairs in, as we did last time. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, so for the thigh stretch again, you can do it standing comfortably or with a little aid if you need to. So taking one leg up with the shoe, the trouser or the sock, bring your knees nice and tight together and your posture's nice and tall. Activate those core muscles, pull your tummy muscles in nice and tight. Keep your thighs level down the front. Keep your breathing nice and comfortable. Hold for 10. And gently relaxing. A little tap of the heels or a little march of the legs. And we change across to the other side. So again, from a comfortable base, take the opposite leg up by your sock, your trouser or your shoe. Bring your knees together and your posture's tall. Tummy muscles in. If you can't feel a very good stretch, just concentrate, just focus on pushing this hip forwards here and feel a good stretch down the thigh muscles. Keep nice and tall, keep your breathing comfortable. If you like to test your balance a little bit at home, then if you're holding on to a supported aid, then you can gradually work your way away, bring your hand away from the aid, keep focused on a spot in front of you, and see how your balance is. Gently relaxing there, back into a little heel tap. Okay, so that concludes our cool down for today, folks. Excellent work, well done, see you again tomorrow. So Ken, tell me, how has cardiac rehabilitation been of benefit to yourself?
Well, to be quite honest, Alan, I found it extremely beneficial. When I started after the heart event, I was quite weak, and as the weeks progressed, during the exercises that you've taken us through today, I found that my strength got better. I got more confident and actually went out and did a lot more exercising myself. And I'm almost, not quite, but almost back to where I was pre-event.
So it's impacted well on the level of activity you've been doing outside of the programme as well as within.
Indeed, both around, if you like, around the home, gardening, that sort of thing, as well as my leisure time.
And do you find that you now have a good structured exercise regime throughout the week?
Yes, I can. I liked cycling before, and the bike hung up for quite a while. It's now back down, and I go out and do that, and walk as well.
Fantastic. And Tim, how do you find that the cardiac rehab is affecting your exercise routine at the moment? Is it beneficial to yourself?
Yeah, I think it's really brilliant. One of the hardest things, I think, coming out of the operation was getting motivated to exercise, going out and doing things, and actually finding the time to actually put in to find the time to actually
invest the time in exercise in a structured format.
So I think the rehab program has been really useful because it gives you a focus on a sort of weekly basis for those first few important weeks. So you can actually follow a structured pattern and gives you some idea of what you can do at home, and also get advice on all the things that you can do in your own time, and ways to do it. I think it reinforces what's said after the initial talks by the surgeons to say that you've got to get out exercise, you've got to try and get fit.
Lose a bit of weight. All that.
Yeah.
And in terms of your confidence now, do you feel as if your confidence has developed through the programme?
I was always a cocky side anyway. So. But exercise-wise, yes, back to normal.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I think it does help very much with confidence because you feel more energetic, and you can feel the benefits of the course, and you can gain something from it.
And one final question: what does the future hold in terms of exercise? Have you plans for the future?
I'm hoping to go on, waiting for a call actually, to go on to level 4, or to carry on level 4 through private lessons. Mainly to carry on my weight loss and increasing my level of fitness generally.
Excellent.
I can say that's a very good thing to do, because this is my second time through the cycle. Because I was on it about 3 years ago for my first problem with my heart, and I progressed on to level 4 at the recommendation of the doctors, which I was putting weight on, and doing, I think it was 2 hours a week every week. I actually got my weight down really, really well, and my fitness up, and I was much healthier. And it only stopped because work got in the way, and that's the one thing I do find, that without this, I think it would be very difficult to get back to it.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Work is always a factor that we have to work around, but it's almost ring-fencing the time for exercise and seeing it as that highly important, really, for the future.
And I'm retired, but all of the other tasks, of course, seem to expand to fill the time available, and getting out to do exercise can be pushed to the background. But the programme is, as it were, brought that back to the fore, as it were.
So would that be your words of wisdom as such for any future patients, to prioritise the exercise?
Yes, give it a very high level of priority indeed, because everything else about your life from here on in depends on doing that exercise. If you don't do it, we'll all end up back on the slab again, being operated on.
That's true, yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, chaps.
Thank you.
Very grateful for all your support, and whether it's recorded or not, we really appreciate you coming on today and helping us out with the DVD. And
Happy to
good
give
luck.
something back.
Yeah,